everybody, my name is Jenna and today I am here with special guest Beck from the channel SheNoob087. Now last semester, well I say last semester, okay, so last year for first semester uni, Beck came and she and I did a video about all of the, you know, books that we read in semester 1, which if I am tech savvy enough I will try and leave a link to here, otherwise it will be linked in the description box below. At the end of that video we sort of said that Beck wouldn't be back because she was only going to be doing drama, not English, but then of course we found out that she did have to do English, so that means Beck is back for semester 2 uni books of 2016. The problem is that it has been a really long time because we've both been so busy, so we don't exactly remember what we read and how we felt, but we're pretty sure that we're going to be able to, you know, feelings are going to arise.
The semester finished at the end of November and it's now the end of January.
It's fine. It's fine. Emotions will rise.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember if we started with drama or English first?
Also, look, I just want to say about the English thing, right? What bugs me the most about that is that I was adamant I didn't want to do it, and then it turned out for like government student benefit reasons I had to do a third topic, but then halfway through the semester I got off of benefits because my husband worked full time. So I didn't have to do it at all.
Oh, that's rough.
It was really rough because I haven't even completed the topic, so...
Yeah, actually, you know, you haven't completed either of these topics, but that's fine.
No, well, yeah, there was a hiccup, but we won't go into
We won't go into that too much. So, do you remember if we did drama or...
drama?
Yeah, we did. We started drama. Okay, so, as always, we have our trusty pieces of paper with our stars on it, and so we're going to be...
Don't mind, the printer decided to, look at the difference. The printer decided to like be dirty with the ink, so yeah, we're going with it. This is what
we're gonna roll with it. So yes, we're gonna start with drama. Like I said, we don't exactly remember everything that we read, and also we didn't actually read a lot of the stuff this semester because we didn't like it.
I think I read more in drama than I did in English. Definitely.
So just like last time, what we're gonna do is we're gonna say the book that we read or the play, and then we're gonna give it a star rating. Then we're gonna kind of explain
talk a little bit,
why. So the first book that we're gonna start with is Peter Brook's. Beck wanted to hold up her copies this
I
time
have my copies this time.
So
it's in my room.
The first one was Peter Brook, The Empty Space. This one was kind of the dramaturgy book that we read. I didn't read all of it. I only read one of the chapters. Whatever chapter I did my response to, that is the chapter that I read. I couldn't.
So this was basically poetics for this semester.
Basically, yes, but we won't talk about poetics because we both really hate it.
We're sick of talking about poetics.
We have to attempt to give this one a star rating. And ready, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I was gonna go 3, but then I thought about how rambly it is.
I gave it a 3 stars because I don't remember it, so it was kind of the safe option.
All I remember is that Peter Brook is really good at... The wind just shut the door. Peter Brook is really good at saying the same thing 100 different ways in like 50 pages. It's way longer than it needs to be.
It is very, very rambly, and I remember the actually way that I wrote my response, Maggie, she sort of stood there and kind of had all these questions and she kind of answered them for us. So when I was going to write the response, I actually went back through my lecture notes and got everything I needed to know from there, and then just went back into the book to get some quotes.
The assignment was relatively easy to write on this. It's not as succinct as it should be, definitely. Like, it's, how many pages? 150 pages, and it could be 50.
Like you.
Thanks!
Okay, so coming in on the first play that we read this semester, it was A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen. I don't really know what else I'm going to say about it, so let's just pick a rating.
Let's rate it. Yeah, we agree. I really enjoyed this one. A lot of the reason is because of how many debates it brought up. Over like the position of women during the time, and was it the right thing for her to leave her husband, you know, and all the like alternate views it brought on, and all the discussions that we had as a class about it. I liked that sort of side of it, and like seeing it from all these different perspectives. And it was a good play.
I got a really good grade on my scene analysis.
So did I.
But no, it was a really good play. Definitely brought up a lot of like topics and controversy, which we got to talk about like in class, which was really awesome. So I really enjoyed that one, and it was a really good play to start off the semester with as well, because obviously in first semester I can't remember what we started with, but I remember not liking Medea. First semester we started off with Medea, and obviously neither of us really liked that play.
I didn't mind Medea. It was Black Medea that I hated, but you guys know that already.
But then A Doll's House was a really great play to start off the semester with, so
it was really easy reading.
Yeah, it was so easy to read.
Plays are really easy to read just because like they're lines. It just doesn't take any time to read them.
The next play that we read was one that we don't actually have copies of, neither of us.
Oh.
And that was Uncle Vanya by Anton Chekhov.
Note, I did not read this.
Okay, so I read this play, Beck did not read this play, but she did watch the movie.
I'm gonna rate the movie that I saw.
That was based on the play. So I'm rating the play, she's rating the movie.
Okay, you thought the play was good.
Yeah, no, the play was really good. Like, it brought up a lot of stuff that, like, we got to talk about, but I don't remember. Let me get up my Goodreads review because I don't really remember. Beck, talk.
I'm gonna note that I'm wearing Aussie flag earrings because it's Australia Day. I just thought I must look so weird wearing these giant boots.
I love Australia. I want to. Okay, here we go. The idea that life is something so simple and that even just a small slice of it can offer up so much is really interesting one for me. One of the reasons the play is so interesting is the fact that nothing really happens, yet I found I was still drawn in and wanted to keep reading. The relationships between the characters are very well thought out, and the idea of what is happening on the surface versus what is happening beneath the surface was well thought out and enjoyable to ponder.
How well worded, Jenna. She doesn't express things quite so eloquently when she doesn't have time to think about it.
Okay, so the next play that we read this semester was Waiting for Godot by
Oh, we have different versions of this. Why?
Waiting for Godot. Okay, so with Waiting for Godot, the first time either of us ever read a little bit of Waiting for Godot was in the library. And I just sat down and I just started reading it. Would you like me to read a little?
Go on, why not?
Here we go. Act 1. A country road. A tree. Evening. Estragon, sitting on a low mound, is trying to take off his boot. He pulls at it with both hands, panting. He gives up, exhausted. Rests. Tries again, as before. Enter Vladimir.
You beat Estragon on you, Vladimir.
Giving up again. Nothing to be done.
Advancing with short, stiff strides, legs wide apart. I'm beginning to come round to that opinion. All my life I've tried to put it from me, saying, Vladimir, be reasonable. You haven't yet tried everything. And I resume the struggle. He broods, musing musing on the struggle, turning to Estragon. So there you are again.
Am I?
I'm glad to see you back. I thought you were gone forever.
Me too.
Together again at last. We'll have to celebrate this. But how? He reflects. Give up. Get up until I embrace you.
Irritably. Not now. Not now.
Hurt. Coldly. May one inquire where His Highness spent the night?
In a ditch.
In a ditch? What?
That's
literally the line.
But basically, I read everything just on my own, and there was another girl there, and she was just like, she didn't do drama, so she was like, what is
We
this
were
garbage?
so confused, but once you read the whole play, it starts to make a little more sense.
So I ended up doing my tutorial presentation on this play, and I actually really did well on that because I really ended up enjoying it, and I thought I thought that it brought up some very interesting discussions that I really liked discussing.
You don't think it's a 5-star play?
Not according to Goodreads.
Okay.
The reason I thought it wasn't a 5-star play is because I did get really in it. Basically, if you don't know, Waiting for Godot is basically a play where this entire thing is about these two characters who are just waiting for a guy called Godot to show up, but he sort of never does, and it's sort of all about these two characters, Estragon and Vladimir, what they do to pass the time, basically. And it's just a really interesting, inner look at human contact and that sort of stuff, and the idea of waiting for something that's never going to show. And so it's just a really interesting one, and that was one of the reasons that I really, really enjoyed it.
I gave it 5 stars because I thought it was incredibly thought-provoking, and it can be interpreted in so many different ways, and the kind of thing that we both took from it was that it was like, God, what's the word I'm thinking of? It was like limbo. It was like these characters were in limbo, and are they dead? Are they not? There's no real concept of time. The sun sets and the moon rises, but really, how long have they been there? Neither of them ever remember what happens from day to day.
Yeah.
So, and this Godot character always says he'll come tomorrow and never comes. Does Godot even exist? And the boy never remembers them, so yeah.
But not only that though, it's a really funny play.
It's hilarious.
It's a really hilarious play. So it was just all around, it was really thought-provoking, and it was a really another good one to study.
Very entertaining.
So far we've had 3 plays and all of them have been really good. This semester was a lot better than last semester. It was so much better.
It was, yeah.
Except now we get on to some plays that neither of us actually read. So the next play that neither of us read was Mother Courage and Her Children by Bertolt Brecht.
Yeah, Brecht.
Yes, I never
Brecht's a very well-known playwright.
So I never read this one, so I'm not really sure that I can actually give it a rating.
I mean, I feel like I can give it a rating based on what I know about.
You know what, I did my final essay on this question, so I probably can give it a rating.
Yeah, we agree. Yeah, we didn't read this, but really, like, we picked up basically what it was about just from other people's presentations and what we heard in the lectures. Yeah, I can confidently say that I do know what this play is about. Basically about a mother and her children. It's post-war?
No, it's set during the war.
It's during the war.
It's set over like a long period of time during the war, and like through the time, it's all about sort of mother courage, and she is just trying to do, like, she does a lot of business deals, and through her business deals she ends up like losing all of her children, and then it's sort of, so it's very much about who is actually the mother of courage. And so there was a lot of talk that it was actually her daughter Katrin that was, and it was really just an interesting one.
It was really interesting, and like,
I don't know why I didn't read it. I think this was getting to the point in the semester where it was,
we were totally swamped.
Yeah, we were really swamped with stuff, so we were starting to have to read a lot of things.
Basically, I didn't read anything that I didn't plan on doing a presentation or an assignment on.
I mean, I did an assignment on it, and I still didn't do too badly, but it was just, it was tricky. So the next play that we read for university is another one that we don't have copies of, and that was Fefu and Friends by...
I don't remember.
Oh, no. Okay, so I'm not going to give this one a rating because I still don't know what it's about, because we only spent 1 week on it. Neither of us read it, and the tutorial presentations, even though our friend did one, I still don't really know what
I still don't really know what it was about.
So we're just going to skip that one and just like give it a bum rating. So
yeah.
Sorry.
Moving on.
Okay, so the next play that we have is actually Beck's copy because I didn't buy it because I wasn't planning on doing an assignment on it. It's The Man from Muckanuppan by Dorothy Hewitt. So not only was it an Australian playwright, it was also a female playwright, which was really interesting because we don't get to read a lot from female playwrights, but...
Can I just say, what is with Australian playwrights and writing really bad plays?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna rate it.
See, I'm not gonna rate this one because I still don't really know what it's about.
No, you know what? I'm just gonna say I give it 1 star.
Yeah.
It's a musical, but it's a nonsensical kind of musical. Like, they're just singing about nothing. Like, I think one song is about eggs and ham or some shit.
Oh my god, yes, the eggs and ham song!
Where is it?
Because wasn't Emily singing it? Found it. Oh my god, look how long it is. And an ham, an egg, and an onion.
An ham, an egg, and an onion. That's right.
I'd have it for breakfast each morning. If I could, I would have it for tea. An ham, an egg, and an onion is the favourite banquet for me. It still goes. I took a job in the city, but when I lined up for me pay, the boss said an egg and an onion is all that you're getting today. So I said, where's the ham? Oh my god, that's so bad.
It literally doesn't make any sense. I remember just like having Emily read this aloud while Jenna tried to work.
Yeah, I
just like laid down and giggled the whole way through. Well, I was really like exhausted.
I remember that.
It was the end of semester. Yeah. I was over it. I was, like, I wasn't failing, but I was in trouble with my grades.
I was actually trying to do. I think that's what I was trying to read stuff for airfare. I was actually trying to do work.
You did really well this semester, and I crumbled. Like, we totally stopped. Because last semester you were struggling, and I was fine, and then this semester
we swapped roles. But this coming semester, 2017, we're going to turn it all around.
We are going to
when we do this video for like the next semester, which we'll talk about a little bit at the end because we have some sort of things to talk about with that, we're going to do really well. So we have one more play to talk about, and then we're going to move on to English. So the next play that I want to talk about is actually the play that we went and saw, which was Rumpelstiltskin. It was a female director, which was awesome.
Oh yeah,
it was a female director.
What was her name?
I know, we met her too, which is even worse.
We met her and we don't remember.
So... Oh, what? Are you serious?
Are you serious?
It was a good... I actually ended up really enjoying it. So I explained it more in my review, but I was like, look, for what they were trying to do, they did it really well. Basically, it was a musical. It was a Rumpelstiltskin retelling in a way where Rumpelstiltskin was actually like a fashion designer. So being in the fashion world, it was really like kooky and weird, but I actually really enjoyed it.
Okay, 2 stars seems low. I did thoroughly enjoy it, but it was too weird for me. And like...
No, I thought for what it was, like for a play, it was really good. Like when I wrote my review, that's what I said. I was like, I think for these reasons, it was like, it did really well.
There are a lot of things about it that I didn't like, but there are a lot of things about it I did like. That I thought the music was excellent.
The music was really good.
The actors were good, especially the girl who played Tootie.
Yeah, she was amazing.
Fabulous and a beautiful singer. I didn't like the costumes. I thought they were far too out there.
They were very out there.
The set was really good. I like what they did with the set. It was just one set for the entire thing, and they changed backgrounds, and they had some sort of light shows and stuff going on, which was really clever. The main guy I thought was a little bit over the top. Just a little bit. The baby was hilarious at the end.
It was great.
I'm not going to say anything, but the ending was the best part.
Yeah,
that was
really
like, I laughed out loud, and it was a really quality play, just not my kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we get to move on to English. The first things that we actually read for English was something that Beck was very not looking forward to.
Poetry.
Poetry, basically. So we're not going to give poetry a rating because I think it's kind of impossible to give poetry a rating. But basically, you don't give...
Overall, if I could give it 0, I would, but this system doesn't work like that. There's your 0. I really hate poetry.
So with poetry, we read 3 different poets?
Oh, I read more than that. Oh, poets.
Poets.
3 different
poets. I think it was like
Charlotte, not Bronte, the other one.
Charlotte Spence. I don't know.
Shakespeare and the Italian guy. What's his name?
And I know that we also read the Fairy Queen as well. I mean, I didn't read Fairy Queen because the Fairy Queen was ridiculous, but now we're going to move straight on from poetry because we know that Beck absolutely hates poetry, so we're just going to move straight on. I'm going to talk about the first novel that I read. I don't know if Beck read it.
I read some of it.
And that is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte.
Different versions again. I'm going to rate it based on what I read, okay? So I think I've read the first 8 chapters of the novel, but I have seen the film before, so I do know the story and the film was good enough.
We're gonna disagree so bad.
Oh wow, do we disagree?
Jane Eyre is one of the only classic books that I've ever read that I've really, really thoroughly enjoyed. I love the gothic horror aspect of it. I love the story. The really interesting thing about this one is I actually have read it before. I read it in year 10 for English class, but this time around I had a lot of trouble getting into it, so I actually started reading it over audiobook, and I was listening to that, especially at all the lower chapters because they were so boring. I do have a lot of issues with the ending of this one, which we discussed like a lot in class, but it was a really good story and I do really love this book.
I was one of the people who didn't read this for high school, so this was like, I saw the film for high school. I didn't read the novel, so
right,
for drama I saw the film and I really enjoyed the film. I just didn't go past the first 8 chapters because it still hadn't gotten going by that point. Like the first 10 chapters are spent in Jane's childhood and I'm just reading it like, I don't care about any of this.
That's the exact reason why I went on and listened to the audiobook instead so that I could do other things.
I would have done that if I had more time.
Yeah. But it's okay because neither of us did assignments on it, so we didn't really need to read it. Most of the books that we actually read this semester for English all had to do with Jane Eyre because we were looking a lot at intertextuality, which is where you sort of have like this base text and then you sort of take
other works
other elements
that were written to do
it kind of makes sense. So the next book that we read was White Sagacity Sea by Jean Rhys.
Oh, I have an Edward Cullen. Oh my god. They came with my novels, okay?
Which incidentally is actually what the camera's resting on. So yay, Twilight!
It's resting on the Twilight series.
So basically this book, like we said, is one of the sort of ones that took inspiration from Jane Eyre, and so this is all about, I don't know how many of you have read Jane Eyre, but basically there's a mad woman up in the attic and book is all about her and how she came to be there.
We agree.
Yeah. This one had a really odd writing style and it took a lot out of it. It's a fairly short read, but it's so dense that it just was really, really difficult to get through. And the actual story behind it, I didn't enjoy. Like, I was interesting enough to learn about like Bertha and sort of how she came to be where she was, or at least Jean Rhys's interpretation of it, but I personally didn't like that interpretation, so I think that was definitely like hindering my reading.
I was mostly confused while reading it about like who was who and what was going on and where this was set, and like I didn't even realise that the other girl was an Aboriginal until like halfway through what I read. Yeah, I legitimately didn't realise.
I mean, I still didn't know that.
Indigenous Australian.
Oh wow. Sorry. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the third book that we read for university. This is actually the one that I did my final essay on and I got an 83. So I'm pretty chuffed with that, and that is The Air Affair by Jasper Ford. You guys have heard me talk about this one a little bit because I actually did a book review of this one, which I'm going to leave in the description box below. Yeah, I did a book review of this one, so I'm not going to go too much into my thoughts of it because I've already done that, but I will still give it a rating and then we can find out what Beck thinks.
I can't rate this one. I didn't read it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, I'm going to give it a rating, but I mean, you guys know the rating if you watched my
I've
my
heard
book review.
that it's a fun read.
I gave it only 3 stars for the reasons that I gave it for in the book review. Basically, I did really enjoy it, but I thought it was like very slow to get going, and it wasn't until like the last 100 or so pages that I really enjoyed it. But if you want to know more about my sort of in-depth thoughts on this one, definitely check out the video that I'll leave linked. Although I kind of forgot I'd done a book review of that one, but I had. And the last book that we were supposed to read for English, which neither of us read, was The Chant of Jimmy Blacksmith by Thomas Keneally.
The Blacksmith boys.
Blacksmith. So neither of us are going to give this one a rating because I feel like it's unfair to rate books that you haven't really read yet.
We've been so bad this semester. You don't understand. Like, we ran out of time.
Yeah, we sort of ran out of time. Especially because neither of us were really planning on using this one as our
neither of us
assignment.
wanted to use
Our friend Emily did actually read this book. She really enjoyed it. She really enjoyed the murders and the groups and
it's about a murderer,
brutality.
isn't it? It's about
so this is another Australian one, and it's about like
serial killer. That's the word.
It's about Jimmy Blacksmith, who's an Indigenous Australian, and he marries a white woman. And then the backlash is like initiates a series of traumatic events where he goes and murders people, basically. So it's a really powerful one from what I've heard. But I think I read maybe the first 30 or so pages, and I was just not having it. By that point, I knew I wasn't going to use it for my assignments. I was like, you know what? There's just no point. I'd rather focus on what I am going to use for my assignments, and I just kind of went from there. So.
For me, it was more of the fact that, like, I was like, I'm already so behind on everything. There's no way I'm going to get to this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So there you go. Those are all of the books that we read in semester 2 of 2016. Obviously, we did not read quite as many as we did last semester. We're
going to try and be good this year.
We are going to try and be good this year. So basically, like I said earlier on in the video, there's a lot of exciting things happening in 2017 when it comes to university. Beck and I are uni buddies. Obviously, because we're not doing the same sort of subjects this year, so I'm no longer doing drama this year. I just couldn't fit it into my timetable, so I'm very sad to not be doing drama anymore. I really did love it.
I'm going to miss you.
We are doing epochs of English together.
Yeah, so I'm moving from English to creative writing, which is what Jenna's doing. So we're both doing the creative writing core topics.
And you're not doing epochs of English though, because that's not a creative writing core topic.
No, I'm doing approaches to creative writing and creative writing workshop. And then the English topic I'm doing is
crime fiction, 21st century lit.
I think so. Crime fiction, I think.
Crime fiction. Okay. Basically, whichever subjects that Beck is in, I will have her here in this video. We're definitely doing creative writing together. So even if we just talk about the creative writing books, although we don't have the books yet, our topics haven't opened. I keep checking like every day, but they're not open
They
yet.
won't open till next month, so.
I want them to open soon though, so I can like order the books and get a head start and everything.
I know, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
But
I'd like to actually get a head start this year.
Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Beck, again for being on my channel. It's always so much fun to have you here.
I know.
So if you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. And don't forget to subscribe to Beck as well. She just hit like 13,000 subscribers? 14,000. She just hit 14,000 subscribers.
And 10 million views.
Which is like incredible. That's so good. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Stay random. Bye.
Bye.